Hello, beloved ones. This is Lorelei from the Tightrope to 5D Music Reactions. And if you're new, might be saying, what kind of a strange name is that? But stick around to the end. I'm going to give you a special message on this historic shift from third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness, which has never happened for an entire inhabitants of a planet. So, all right, but first of all, we're going to go to Angelina Jordan. We're going to do a reaction to Seventh Heaven. Let's hear it.
Oh, you know a lot of bitterness. There is nothing to do about it. Life should be, live with hope. Oh, you know a lot of bitterness. There is nothing to do about it. Don't give up, don't give up, 'cause it's right in front of your eyes. Seven on my shoulders falls heavy. Sometimes I feel all my dreams are slowly fading. I see myself in the mirror. I wanna love the person looking back at me. Seven on my shoulders falls heavy. Sometimes I wanna be powerful. Gotta find the strength within me. Sometimes you look for a miracle, but there's nothing in you. Sometimes you have to let go and get lost in the moment. Sometimes you wanna be careless and let go of sadness. Seven on my shoulders.
Okay, we got to rewind that. That's pretty cool. And I love the way she goes into that real, like, sort of, she just belts it out there at that point. Let's just watch this one, though. This kind of little story about this this waitress, which is like, I guess she's given us, an idea of what she means by the song, that this waitress is like, she wants to be in heaven. She wants her cares to go away. And, but, it's not always that easy is what she seems to be saying here. So, by the way, like my video and like this one later, because she's doing a great job. And subscribe to get to see more. Here we go.
Sometimes I wanna be powerful. Gotta find the strength within me. Sometimes you look for a miracle, but there's nothing in you. Sometimes you have to let go and get lost in the moment. Sometimes you wanna be careless and let go of sadness.
You said you have to let go and sometimes be just in the moment. Let's just go back a second. And now we see the waitress letting go. Hang on. And being in the moment. Hold on.
Wanna be careless and let go of sadness. Seven on my shoulders falls heavy. Sometimes I feel all my dreams are slowly fading. I see myself in the mirror. I wanna love the person looking back at me. Seven on my shoulders falls heavy. Heaven, no. Heaven, no.
Oh, that's too cute. We got to go back. These two are having a blast. Like, and heaven is really in the moment, right? Heaven is not something we're going to reach toward. I mean, we have our heavenly moments in the moment when we're really in the moment.
Oh, you know a lot of bitterness. There to do about it. Life should be live with her.
Wonderful. This is a great song. Wow. Great job, Angelina Jordan. Loved it. It's a great message, too. You know, I don't understand the seventh heaven falls heavy on my shoulders business. Like the rest of it, I understand to be, you know, sometimes, you know, you just don't feel like everything's going your way, but you just got to push it to the side and have a good time anyway and just enjoy your life and stop all the worrying and the strife and all that. So I get that. But the seventh heaven feels heavy on my shoulders. Comment if you kind of get an idea of what she means. I'm wondering if she's meaning that, like, the striving to be in seventh heaven is heavy on her shoulders. Like, because you feel like you're never there. And you're just always striving to have that perfect career, that perfect life and all that. And you're never there. I think it could be that. But give me your comments of what you think it is. And this is a very upbeat song, a wonderful, happy song with a great message. A very fifth dimensional message, really, to just let go of, you know, all the craziness and just be in the moment and enjoy it. And she does that, like just with the video too, and the dancing with the girl and everything. It's a very high vibrational message, very high vibrational feel, you know, feels good on the cells of your body. So on my scale of 1 being very third dimensional fear, pain, suffering, sadness, all that, and 10 being very fifth dimensional love, joy, bliss, peace, heaven on earth, you know, freedom. I'm going, this is pretty high. This is pretty high. I'm going to have to go with like a 9 on this one. This is a great, great job of a song that brings up us to a high vibration and just feels good. Now there's a couple little tweaks in there, like living with hope. Yeah, and that's not really fifth dimensional because you don't have to hope. Okay, there's no need to hope because you got a great life there, right? And hoping is something that never happens a lot of times. Oh, I just hope it would happen, but it doesn't, you know, so never mind about the future. Be in the now, love it, enjoy it. You know, those are just some tweaks to a fifth dimensional message, but very high vibrational song. Okay, so what is my 5D message? I hope you're going to stick around, by the way, and listen to these messages because this is literally a time that has never happened here on Earth before or anywhere, as we understand it. Never has it happened that an entire planet, a population of a planet has moved up to a higher fifth dimension from third dimension all at the same time. It's relatively at the same time. There'll be 3 waves of people going, but for the most part, all the people are going, and that's a blink of an eye in universal time, or just maybe even not even a blink, but just like starting to close the eye. So it really is all at once in that sense. So my message today is, what are the signs that we are actually on the path to 5D? What are the signs? And the first one I'm going to say is right here on my video channel. You can literally pick out songs from that I have looked at here, singers and songs that are such a high vibration, that bring you to such a high place, such a fun place, such a joyful place, sometimes an ecstatic place. You know, like Dimash, Ave Maria, or one of Amira, you know, just like, oh man, just like brings you to like states of bliss, right? I mean, in this one, you know, fun and joy and all that, you know. So there's really you know, a lot right on this channel right here. Now, thinking of those beloved ones, because they bring you so high, and I still didn't give them I gave sometimes a 9. I maybe have to go with an 8.5 on this one because it is great, but it's not as high as some of those in terms of how it brings you high. So I'm going to have to kick it back a little bit, but it's a great song to 8.5. And, I mean, we've got right here on our channel, right here, so many singers who are bringing a fifth dimensional vibration, like a frequency that brings you right up there, and a message of that high vibration. They're just like myriad of songs. So look on my channel. You're going to see a lot of signs. But now, what are some of the other signs? Well, there's been a real lot of chaos with all kinds of crazy things happening. The LA riots, the COVID-19, the VACCINES, the political upheaval, you know, just like all kinds of upheaval things happening in the weather and everything. There's been all this upheaval. But what have we sort of begun to notice in this upheaval? What have we actually seen happening? Well, here's one thing that I've seen. The majority of the people around me want it to stop. They want to take a stand for no more wars. They want to take a stand that we don't just let people come into our country willy-nilly and harm people. Not that all immigrants, illegal or otherwise, would ever do that. Certainly not, even by any stretch of the imagination. But the ones who do, it's just not acceptable that they're getting in here to do it. We want no more of this trafficking of children across our border. We want no more of this Epstein business. We want this to stop. Now, he's gone, but where are all the ones that we know for an assurity we're doing it? We're up in arms. We are literally up in arms in our country that this has not been taken care of and dealt with. That these people who have been harming children in some kind of organized way, including people in high positions of power, all different kinds of high positions, that they are still out there just living their life like no problem and probably doing the same thing. We're not okay with that. 90% of us, I would say, are not okay that these people are harming children. We're not okay with children going into schools and being talked about at the age of 6 that they should have an SE exchange and they can be whatever they want, like a sort of an indoctrination, and then their bodies are going to be mutilated. We're not okay with that, and we're standing up to say so. Perfectly fine what you should choose to do to your body after the age of 18, but not okay to propagandize a child to go and do that when he would never probably or she have thought of it other than that, right? That's not okay. We're not okay with that women are afraid to be in sports, right? 90% I'd say of the pop. I'm going to go with 80, okay? Let's not be hyperbolic. Let's go with 80% on all of this because I think it's a solid 80, right? I definitely think it's a solid 80. 80% of us are not okay that women don't feel comfortable to go into the bathroom because there could be a man in a dress in there. Now, we don't mind men wearing dresses. Go right ahead. Have a good time. But don't go into our bathroom because then some of you are trying to commit crimes against us and against our children while you're in that bathroom. And besides that, it's just not comfortable to us. Some of you are actually taking advantage of this whole new thing and say, oh, I'll just put on a dress and that gives me access to women and children. Not okay. We're just like, no, flat out no. Okay? I mean, this is just such common sense things, but the whole entire population is saying no, like 80% of us, okay? We're saying, no, you can't censor my speech. You can't tell me what to say. No, you're not going to take away. And I don't know if it's 80% of us saying about the censoring. Let's go to at least 60. Saying, nope, not gonna tell me what I can say, I can't say. I'm a free person. I'm a free being. I'm a sovereign being. You did not give me my rights. God gave me my rights. And I get to live my life as I see fit, as long as I'm not harming anybody. And the words out of my mouth do not harm people. Sorry. We were taught this a long time ago. We were in kindergarten. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. So you're not going to go out and start putting people in jail or cutting them off or cutting off their socialization because you don't like the words out of their mouth. If you don't like the words out of their mouth, do what we've done for 250 years. Go listen to somebody else and have a disagreement with them if you want. Go right ahead. You can argue back and forth all you want. You can tweet back and forth if you want. Obviously, don't threaten anyone. We're not putting up with that. But you are not going to tell people what they're allowed to think and what they're allowed to say. That's just not okay. And that's so fifth dimensional. I want you to know that literally it is the law of the universe. Non-interference is the law of the universe. You are not allowed to go interfere in another person's life. Not even to tell them, don't go out and commit crimes. No, if that's how they're going to live their life, the divine says, hands off this planet. Right? When now we've got special dispensation because enough of people of us have asked for help from the divine. And so they're giving us help, right? But basically, unless we ask for it, hands off this planet, no matter what they're doing. Okay? Because that's their free will. Now, it helps that we have multiple lives to live and we could go other places and live lives. So this is not a done deal. If we do something horrific here, then we have another life to go and learn a new way or whatever. So That's like that parable of the son, the good son who did everything right, and the other son who went off and did all kinds of not good things and then came back, and then the father welcomed them. So when we go off as souls and spirits and we do our things, and some of them aren't very nice, but when we finally come back to the Father, the divine, we are welcomed with love, okay? Because we were given that free will. It was so we had this life so we could explore what it's like to not be all light and love and joy and all that, to be something different, and to learn our lessons and come back to love. So we're saying, no, you cannot take away my sovereign rights. That's a very, very fifth dimensional thought. You know, for masses of thousands of years, people have just let their rights be taken away over and over and over again with communism and, being subjects to this or that king or this or that ruler. No, we're not doing that. Very fifth dimensional. We see that. Like, we're like people like, no, not going to do it. Okay? Even what you even need to understand that even some of the wars between the left and the right, this is the craziness of it. If a person maybe on the right is arguing for no illegal immigration, you got a person on the left arguing for illegal immigration because they feel sorry for those people. They go, oh, that poor thing. Even them, they're doing it out of a loving heart, very misguided in a lot of ways. Some of them, like the people in positions of power, they're not really worried either way, right? They don't care about those immigrants, and they don't care about the ones that they hurt. But the ones that they're propagandizing and convincing to think this way actually feel sorry for the immigrants. They haven't been told, by the way, that a lot of them are murderers or rapists or child whatevers, right? And they feel sorry for them. So even they are like trying to do what they think is the right thing, what they think is a good thing. Now, they're very misguided because they haven't been told the whole truth and everything else, right? And they haven't thought, because they haven't been told the truth, they haven't thought, well, what about the family of the guy that this one murdered, or the child that he did whatever with and sometimes didn't survive it, by the way. They're not thinking about that because they're not being told that. But here they are arguing. One side, we got to protect people. Other side, we got to protect people. You see what I'm saying? Even the argument is for a good purpose, though this side may be quite misguided and given not a lot of information. Now, were the information to come to this side in a massive way that they could accept, I bet you that side would flip over, right? And they go, oh, well, we thought we were protecting, but we really weren't. We better protect people, because they're trying to protect people. Now, I don't mean all of them, okay? Some of them really know, they just stick to their party, that's it, and we just go this way, and that's all there is. And some of them really want to commit dirty things through their politics because they're in positions of power. But a lot of them are just simply misinformed, and they really just arguing for the wrong side for the right reason. The reason in their heart is of love, but it's for the wrong side. So you see, even that is in its own kind of weird, warped way. Even the ones, arguing, for instance, for the rights of trans people. They think they're in some like big, civil rights movement, right? And they understand the plight of these people who have that situation of having a trans kind of feeling or experience of life, and they're compassionate for them. But they're not getting the whole picture, so they can't be compassionate for the children who are being harmed by some of these, or for the women who are being harmed in sports and all that, because they're not getting the whole picture. Nobody's telling them the whole picture. So a lot of these arguments are just like such a tiny, like little tweak away from everybody being on the same side. Just the tiniest little tweak of people actually getting the information correctly would just flip them in an instant, because guess what? On both sides, a mass amount of them are trying to do what they feel is right for people. And that's historic. That's actually historic. That an entire population of a planet actually cares more about the other guy and is thinking about the other guy. Now, also thinking of yourself, of course, you must always do that. But this has not usually generally happened. People usually historically speaking, were involved in their own lives. Like, let me have my life be good. Let me have, like, make sure that I'm taken care of, my kids are taken care of, etc. But here we have an entire planet of people concerned about the other guy. Wow, that's pretty amazing. I mean, there's just so much. All of this upheaval, really, you can really look at it as on the path to the fifth dimension. And we've got this muck and this mire that's been going on. And now we're standing up and saying it needs to end. 80% of the population is saying it needs to end. Now, some of those 80% have a different idea of what's going to take to end it. That may change with more understanding and information. However, they are still saying this needs to end. This feeling like you're divided from other people needs to end. So it's interesting when I see this left and these right wars, because I mean, it's almost like they don't understand that they're arguing for the same thing. At a core, you're arguing for the same thing. And to have a life that is worth living. They're all arguing for that. Isn't that amazing? And again, it's never happened on our planet. Like I said, people just involved in their own lives historically throughout all of time. So I hope that this kind of gives you a vision into the future, because it is on the way. All of this upheaval must happen in order for us to zone in and target in and get rid of all of the nasty stuff that is happening on our planet. And it's natural that some people have one thought of how to solve it. Other people have another thought how to solve it. However, as people raise frequency and vibration, and the light is coming in from the photon belt and coming through our sun and everything else, people are going to be able more and more and more to have a better conversation about how to solve these problems. But they're talking about it. That's the important thing. They want to solve it. And so they're going to come like this as time goes by. And at some point, it will all be on a path, and people will be able to really come to the solutions. I'm just keeping my visual here. They'll be able to come together to the solutions that will actually work, because we want it. We want this. We, as the mass of the population, want peace and harmony on Earth. That's the other thing. So many people are going to stop the wars. Whether you're saying, get those nuclear bombs out of here, or whether you're saying stop the war in Gaza, you're still saying stop killing people, right? I mean, you could have one way to do it or another way to do it, but you're saying stop killing people. So it's a very exciting time to be alive. All right, friends, I'm sending you now that beautiful fifth dimensional energy, that harmony, that peace, that bliss, that freedom, that ability to come together in unity and oneness to solve those problems. Sending it to you right now. Here we go. Namaste. I honor the God in you.